Ever had a single comment or cold glance ruin your whole day? It's strange how negativity seems to cling, almost like a shadow you can't shake. But here's the question. What if you didn't have to carry it? What if you could move through the day, unbothered and untouched by others' harshness? Dealing with toxic people is something we all face. We can't control what others say or do, but we can absolutely control how we respond. Imagine a life where you hold the power to stay calm and keep your peace, no matter what comes your way. That's the core of Stoic wisdom, especially in the teachings of Marcus Aurelius, who believed that true strength lies in mastering our response, not changing others. Stoicism offers us a timeless guide to transform how we experience negativity. Today, we'll dive into 10 powerful Stoic strategies to handle toxicity and protect your inner peace. Let's get started and make sure no one's negativity can touch the life you're building. Stoics teach us something profoundly liberating. While we can't control others' actions, we have complete control over our own responses. Think about that. It means that in any given moment, we hold the power to decide how much impact others have on our peace of mind. Negativity can be consuming. One sharp comment, one cold look, can overshadow 1,000 good moments if we let it. It's almost like our minds have a way of magnifying those negative encounters, holding on to them as if they're somehow more important than all the kindness we receive. But why is it that a single toxic moment can feel heavier than the support and positivity we know surrounds us? Why should one person's harshness be enough to color the brightness of an entire day? This is where Marcus Aurelius offers a lifeline, urging us to look past criticisms and see them for what they truly are, reflections of the critic's own internal state. Aurelius believed that people's judgments, bitterness, or anger are less about us and more about what they're struggling with internally. When someone casts their negativity your way, it doesn't define who you are. Instead, it reflects their own battles, their own insecurities, frustrations, or misunderstandings. That's where your power truly lies, in choosing not to carry that weight. Instead of trying to change the critic or force people to see you differently, you can choose to rise above it. You can choose to let their words stay with them, rather than letting them linger in your mind. You are in control, not of them, but of your own peace, your own perspective, your own freedom. And that freedom, to respond rather than react, is where real strength and real peace begins. 1. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is where the journey to inner peace truly begins. Stoics understood that if we can recognize our own emotions and reactions, we hold the key to staying calm in the face of negativity. It's like having a gentle alarm inside that lets us know when something has touched a nerve, giving us a chance to pause and choose our next move. Imagine this. Someone throws a toxic comment your way, maybe something subtle but sharp, designed to hit where it hurts. In that instant, you feel the familiar spark: anger, frustration, hurt. It's natural to want to react, to defend yourself, or even throw something back. But here's where self-awareness can transform the whole experience. When you notice that spark, you have the power to choose not to ignite the fire. By recognizing the trigger as it happens, you take control, grounding yourself in the choice to respond with calm rather than react impulsively. Let's say someone at work says something like, "I don't know how you manage to keep up with everything. I'd be overwhelmed if I were you." It sounds like they're just observing, but there's an undertone, a slight jab, implying you might not be handling things well. In that moment, self-awareness steps in. Instead of reacting, take a breath and ask yourself, why does this bother me? Maybe it's touching an insecurity, or perhaps it feels disrespectful. Whatever it is, naming that feeling creates space to separate the comment from your sense of self. Here's a powerful practice. When someone triggers you, pause and ask, "Why does this bother me?" This question is more than a way to cool down. It's a pathway to understanding yourself better. Each time you ask, you learn a little more about what matters to you, what still hurts, and where you need to protect your peace. Self-awareness is the first step in building resilience. It allows you to recognize the things that threaten your peace, giving you the choice to respond from a place of inner calm rather than reacting impulsively. By turning inward, you shift the power from others back to yourself. And with each practice of awareness, you become stronger, more grounded, and, ultimately, more at peace with who you are, too. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting. It's about letting go of the resentment that weighs us down. Imagine forgiveness as releasing yourself from a heavy chain that's held you back for far too long. Each link in that chain represents grudges, bitter memories, and moments you've replayed in your mind, carrying the hurt as if it were a part of you. And yet, just as you release each link, you feel lighter, free to move forward without the burden of what's already passed. But while forgiveness frees you, memory steps in as your guide, helping you steer clear of the same pitfalls, so you don't have to endure those same wounds again. Think of it this way. If you've ever forgiven someone who hurt you deeply, you know that true forgiveness doesn't erase the experience from your mind. It simply changes its weight in your heart. Memory, like a wise friend, remains, gently reminding you of what you learned so you can make different choices next time. Suppose there was a time you trusted someone only to be met with betrayal. Forgiveness allows you to release the bitterness attached to that memory, but the lesson lingers, offering clarity in future interactions. You carry the wisdom, not the wound. In practice, forgiveness can feel like clearing out a room filled with shadows. Once you let go of resentment, that room is no longer dark, no longer a place where past hurts haunt you. It becomes a space of clarity where memory can remind you of what you need to protect yourself in the future. When you forgive, but remember, you turn pain into wisdom. You're no longer holding on to hurt, but rather carrying the strength you gained from overcoming it. So, use forgiveness to lighten the weight of resentment and let memory help you navigate wisely. Together, they offer freedom without naivety and compassion without weakness. With every act of forgiveness, you clear space for peace, and with every memory, you chart a path forward marked by resilience and quiet strength. 3. Emotional stability is like a quiet, unbreakable anchor in the midst of a storm. It allows us to remain calm even when we're surrounded by negativity and chaos. Imagine standing in the eye of a hurricane. The world around you spins with wild intensity, but in that center, there's a calm, a stillness untouched by the fierce winds outside. That's what true emotional stability feels like. A steady, unshakable peace that grounds you, no matter what's happening around you. When we cultivate emotional stability, we're able to hold on to that calm center, even in the presence of harsh words or challenging moments. It's not about detachment or indifference. It's about finding a place within ourselves where we can breathe deeply and feel safe, no matter how others behave or how intense the day becomes. Practicing emotional stability is like learning to pause, to hold steady, and to carry a quiet confidence that your peace isn't at the mercy of anyone else's actions or words. One way to start building this inner peace is through mindfulness. When you find yourself faced with negativity, take a moment to breathe deeply. Ground yourself in that single breath, letting it remind you that your stability isn't dependent on anything outside of you. Feel your feet firmly on the ground and let your breath create space between you and the chaos around you. With each deep breath, you're reinforcing that center, making it easier to stand calm in the storm. Emotional stability is the art of choosing peace, regardless of the situation. It's about holding on to your own inner world and refusing to let it be clouded by anyone else's storms. As you nurture this stability, you'll find that life's chaos can whirl around you, but your sense of self, your calm, and your peace remain untouched, like a lighthouse shining steady through the darkest nights. 4. Setting boundaries. Your peace is valuable, so valuable that it deserves to be protected, cherished, and upheld. Don't let anyone disrupt it without your permission. Just as a precious garden needs a fence to keep it safe from harm, our peace requires boundaries to protect it from outside negativity. These boundaries aren't walls to shut others out. Rather, they're gentle fences that allow you to preserve your well-being while inviting in only what nurtures and strengthens you. Imagine that your inner world is a beautiful, flourishing garden filled with everything that brings you joy, strength, and calm. Without boundaries, anyone can trample through, unthinking, leaving you with the remnants of their own chaos. But with boundaries, you're able to decide who and what enters, preserving the beauty and balance of your peace. This isn't about shutting people out. It's about knowing your worth and honoring it enough to protect it. Setting boundaries might sound intimidating, but it's often as simple as calmly communicating your needs. When someone crosses a line, you might gently say, "I'm not comfortable discussing this," or "I need a moment to myself right now." These words aren't harsh, they're honest. They're an affirmation of your self-respect and a reminder to others that your peace isn't something to be taken lightly. Remember, setting boundaries is an act of self-respect. It's about recognizing that your inner peace is sacred and deserves to be preserved. Each time you set a boundary, you're reinforcing that value, giving yourself the space to thrive, undisturbed by what others may bring. By protecting your peace, you're not only taking care of yourself, but also creating a foundation of stability and calm that will nourish every other part of your life. So, build your garden fence with care and kindness, and watch how your inner world flourishes in the safety you've created. 5. Energy intelligence. The Stoics taught us a powerful truth. Our mental energy is precious, and protecting it means engaging only with what builds us up. Imagine your energy as a limited, life-giving resource, like water in a desert. Each drop has purpose, and in that vast, arid space, you wouldn't waste a single ounce on what doesn't nurture or sustain you. Each interaction, each conversation, every task that crosses your path, these are all opportunities to choose where your energy flows, and not all of them deserve a drop. There are moments and people that, instead of uplifting you, only seem to drain that precious resource. When we feel drained, it's not always because we've done too much. Sometimes it's because we've poured ourselves into things that offer no nourishment in return. To protect your mental energy, take a moment to evaluate where it's going. When you feel a conversation slipping into negativity, or when you sense someone's words pulling you down, pause. Ask yourself, is this worth my energy? Is this bringing me closer to peace or further from it? Give your energy only to what uplifts, to people and tasks that add meaning, joy, and growth to your life. This doesn't mean avoiding all difficulty or challenge. It means choosing wisely what you'll let into that sacred space of your mind. Using your energy wisely is a choice, a form of self-preservation. Just as a desert traveler guards each sip of water, guard your energy, pouring it into only those places that help you grow, deepen, and become who you're meant to be. Let each drop you give build you up, adding to the well of inner peace and strength that sustains you. This is how we protect our energy, not from a place of scarcity, but from a deep respect for our own well-being and the life we're crafting. 6. Focus on goals. Keep your eye on what matters, and don't let negativity pull you away from your goals. Life will always have voices of doubt, distractions that try to pull your focus from what you're here to accomplish. But remember, those goals you hold close are like stars guiding you through the night, steady, constant, always there to remind you of the path you're meant to follow. Take Jordan's story, for example. Jordan had always dreamed of building his own business, something he poured his heart and skills into from day one. But as with any ambition, his journey wasn't free of obstacles. Friends and family, sometimes even with the best intentions, would question him. They'd say, "Are you sure this is worth it? Or maybe you should try something more secure." Every question felt like a weight, a tug at his confidence, inviting him to doubt his own dreams. But each time those doubts appeared, Jordan would take a breath, refocus, and remind himself why he started. Instead of letting those words linger, he redirected his energy back to his goal, pouring his focus into each small step forward. And slowly, with every effort, his dream became his reality. The lesson here is one we can all live by. Rather than letting negativity occupy space in our minds rent-free, let's channel that energy toward the things that matter. For every word of doubt or moment of distraction, there's an opportunity to refocus, to reaffirm our commitment to the goals that give our lives purpose. Imagine that every time you're tempted to dwell on a negative comment or a setback, you take that thought and repurpose it, using its energy to fuel your ambitions instead. So, let negativity fall by the wayside. Let it slip from your mind without attachment, like leaves carried by the wind. Instead, fill that space with the drive, the focus, and the passion that your dreams deserve. Your goals are too important, and your time is too valuable to be given to anything that doesn't uplift and inspire you. Keep moving forward, eyes on the horizon, heart full, and let nothing distract you from the journey that's uniquely yours. 7. Seeking support. Seeking support isn't a sign of weakness. It's an act of wisdom. Sometimes we walk through dark and uncertain moments where our own inner light feels dim. But imagine this. In those times, each supportive person in your life is like a candle lighting up the path, casting enough warmth and clarity to help you find your way forward. When we reach out to those who understand us, who genuinely want to see us thrive, we're not admitting defeat. We're simply allowing ourselves to be guided by their light. A trusted friend, a mentor, or someone who's walked a similar path can offer a perspective that cuts through the fog of self-doubt. In their presence, you feel seen, understood, and reminded of your own strength. So don't hesitate to seek out those who uplift you. Find people who reinforce your resolve and help you see the bigger picture, especially when negativity tries to cloud your view. A word from someone who cares can make all the difference, illuminating what we sometimes can't see for ourselves. Let their light lift you up, and in time, your own will shine even brighter, ready to guide someone else along their journey. 8. Control of negative self-talk. Self-talk can be our greatest ally or our biggest saboteur. The words we tell ourselves can either lift us to new heights or hold us captive in self-doubt. Imagine your mind as a garden, a place where thoughts grow like plants. Some are flowers, resilient and beautiful, but others are weeds, negative self-talk that threatens to take over, suffocating the life you're trying to cultivate. Every time you speak harshly to yourself, each "I'm not good enough" or "why do I even try" is like a weed, wrapping itself around your confidence and stealing your peace. But the beautiful part? You have the power to pull those weeds, to clear that space and plant seeds of strength, resilience, and compassion. And just as a garden needs tending, our minds need the constant, gentle work of nurturing positive self-talk. So, next time you catch a negative thought creeping in, pause and ask yourself, how can I grow from this experience? Turn the question on its head, and you'll find that even the hardest moments contain seeds of growth and strength. Each time you choose a kinder word, a more encouraging thought, you're empowering yourself. You're building a shield of inner resilience that no outside negativity can penetrate. Empower yourself with positive self-talk. It's the armor that protects you from whatever the world may throw your way. Let your words become the soil that nurtures the person you are becoming, creating a garden that flourishes with self-belief and inner peace. As you tend to that garden, you'll find that it becomes a sanctuary, a place of strength, a reflection of the best within you. 9. Solution-oriented approach. Stoicism teaches us a profound lesson. Focus on what's within your control, your response, your approach, your energy. We may not be able to control the chaos around us or the actions of others, but we hold the power over how we respond, how we carry ourselves, and where we place our attention. In this lies our strength, our chance to rise above what could drag us down. One of the most empowering ways to practice this is to listen more and react less. When we choose to pause, to sit in the moment rather than immediately reacting, we tap into a deep well of patience and calmness. Think of it as seeing the world from a few steps back, where you're observing the situation with a clear mind, rather than getting swept up in the emotions. In every challenging moment, you have the opportunity to breathe deeply, allowing yourself to approach the situation with poise and wisdom. Imagine this like a chess game, where each decision is carefully weighed before it's made. The Stoic mindset is a bit like this strategy, where instead of moving reactively, we're thinking several moves ahead. Each decision becomes intentional, free from the pull of impulsive emotions. Rather than being tangled in the moment, you're anticipating, responding with calmness, clarity, and focus. In this way, you're not avoiding the difficulty. You're choosing to navigate it with patience and control, allowing yourself to stay steady amid the storm. This solution-oriented approach is a way to protect your peace, to rise above negativity without being pulled in. You're not ignoring the issue. You're simply directing your energy in a way that empowers you to stay grounded and in control. Remember, being solution-oriented isn't just about fixing what's wrong. It's about maintaining the strength to move through challenges without losing yourself to them. With each calm response, you're building resilience, showing yourself that you are, indeed, capable of facing life's challenges with grace and steady strength. 10. Avoiding unnecessary arguments. Not every conflict is worth engaging. Sometimes the most powerful response is the one left unsaid, the silence that protects your peace. Think of arguments like dead-end streets. Some paths, no matter how tempting, lead nowhere but frustration. When we find ourselves standing at the entrance of one of these dead ends, we have a choice. We can turn away, preserving our energy and focus, or we can walk down a road that only drains us, offering no resolution, only regret. Imagine someone saying something intended to provoke, a comment meant to pull you into their storm. In these moments, silence can be a remarkable shield. Choosing not to respond isn't weakness, it's wisdom. It's recognizing that your peace, your energy, is too valuable to be squandered on battles that bring no real gain. By choosing silence, you let the words pass by without giving them power over you. You're standing firm, grounded in the calm that silence brings, letting the chaos pass without disturbing your own sense of self. Next time you're faced with the choice to engage in a conflict, pause and ask yourself, is this battle worth my peace? More often than not, you'll find the answer is no. By letting go of the arguments that don't matter, you're preserving your energy for what truly does. You're setting aside the distractions and focusing on what adds meaning to your life. So pick your battles with care. Choose to engage only when the cause is worthy, when it aligns with who you are and what you stand for. Let go of the ones that don't. Your peace is a treasure, a light in your life, too precious to waste on fleeting conflicts. Embrace this choice and watch how much lighter, freer, and stronger you feel, knowing that you are no longer pulled in by every word, but guided by the quiet strength within. In embracing Stoic wisdom, we discover tools that cultivate inner peace and resilience. By practicing self-awareness, we recognize our triggers and learn to respond rather than react. Forgiveness and memory allow us to release resentment while learning from the past. Emotional stability lets us remain calm amidst negativity, and setting boundaries protects our peace. Energy intelligence guides us to invest only where we grow, while a focus on goals reminds us to channel energy into what truly matters. Seeking support is wisdom, not weakness, and controlling self-talk empowers us from within. A solution-oriented approach helps us rise above negativity, and avoiding unnecessary arguments preserves our peace. Remember, Stoicism teaches that we hold the power to decide how we let others' words or actions affect us. If these Stoic principles resonate with you, hit subscribe and join us as we explore more ways to navigate life with wisdom, peace, and inner strength. Your peace is in your hands. Cultivate it, protect it, and let it be your guiding force through life's challenges. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.